Once upon a time, in a vast and dense forest, there lived a deer who was expecting her young ones. One evening, as the sun began to set, the sky turned dark, and ominous black clouds gathered above the forest. A fierce storm was brewing, and the deafening sound of thunder echoed through the trees. In an instant, lightning struck the heart of the forest, setting it ablaze. The flames spread quickly, devouring everything in their path. The pregnant deer was caught in the midst of this disaster. She could feel the sharp pangs of labor pains, but she knew she had to escape the fire that was rapidly consuming her home. Fearing for her life and her unborn children, she hurriedly ran toward a nearby river to find safety and perhaps a place to give birth. As she reached the river bank, she paused for a moment to drink some much-needed water. She saw her own reflection in the clear river, and the anxiety in her eyes was unmistakable. The fire was ravaging the forest behind her, and she was about to give birth to her young ones in the midst of such chaos and destruction. The fear and uncertainty were overwhelming. Just as she was about to drink, she heard a rustling sound coming from the bushes to her left. Her heart skipped a beat. She turned her head with wide, frightened eyes and saw a hunter lurking in the shadows, his bow drawn, an arrow aimed directly at her. The deer's heart raced with panic. She was already in labor, and now she was faced with a hunter's deadly aim. The deer's mind raced, and the only thought that crossed her mind was to flee. As she prepared to bolt toward her right, her instincts froze in terror. From behind the bushes, a massive lion suddenly emerged. The lion, a fierce predator, was lying in wait, and it was now prepared to attack her. The deer's options seemed to have dwindled to nothing. She was surrounded on all sides, on the left by the hunter, on the right by the lion, behind her the forest was burning, and in front of her, the river was deep and full of crocodiles. There was no escape. In that moment, with death looming on all sides, the deer stopped in her tracks. Her life seemed to hang by a thread, and she realized that there was no way to outrun her fate. Her heart was filled with despair, but she understood that fear would not change the inevitable. For a brief moment, she thought about her situation with a strange sense of acceptance. If death is certain, she thought, why should I be afraid? Why not face it with dignity? And with that thought, the deer calmed herself. She lowered her head, taking a deep breath, and began drinking from the river with a quiet, fearless determination. As the deer drank, the hunter, still lurking in the shadows, saw her calmness and seized the moment. He drew his arrow, ready to release it, but just as he did, a sudden flash of lightning split the sky, followed by a loud, deafening clap of thunder. The force of the lightning rattled the hunter's hands, causing him to tremble. In that instant, his aim faltered, and instead of hitting the deer, the arrow flew off course, striking the lion instead. The lion, enraged and wounded by the arrow, turned its gaze on the hunter. Its eyes blazed with fury, and with a roar, it lunged at the hunter, chasing him with terrifying speed. The hunter, now terrified for his own life, began to run for cover, his heart pounding in his chest. The lion, relentless and fierce, pursued him without mercy. As if the heavens themselves had joined in this battle for survival, the storm intensified, and rain began to pour down in torrents. The downpour was so heavy that it quickly doused the raging forest fire, saving the forest from total destruction. In the midst of all the chaos, the deer continued to drink from the river, calm and composed. When she finally raised her head, she saw that the hunter had fled, and the lion was no longer in sight. The fire had been extinguished by the rain, and the forest was safe once more. Relieved, the deer wasted no time. She knew that now was the perfect moment to escape and find a safe place to give birth. Without hesitation, she ran deep into the forest, away from danger. She soon found a quiet, peaceful spot where she gave birth to 3 healthy, beautiful fawns. As we reflect on this story, We can draw a profound lesson from the deer's courage in the face of overwhelming adversity. There are times in our lives when we feel surrounded by difficulties from all directions. It may seem like there is no way out and no hope left. In such moments, it's easy to feel fear and despair. But the deer's story teaches us an important truth. We must never lose our courage, no matter how great the challenges we face. Even when it seems that there is no escape, we must face our problems head-on, with determination and a positive mindset. When we do, we open ourselves to the possibility of a solution, even if we cannot see it at first. Hope, once it takes root, can transform the most difficult circumstances into opportunities for growth and renewal. The deer, by embracing her fear and choosing to face the inevitable with grace, allowed the universe to intervene on her behalf. Her calmness in the face of danger and her refusal to give in to panic created the conditions for her survival. And in the end, she not only survived but thrived, bringing new life into the world. So, when life feels overwhelming and the challenges seem insurmountable, remember the deer's story. Trust in your own inner strength, face adversity with courage, and always keep hope alive. Because when we have hope, anything is possible. Thank you for reading this story. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more motivational stories. We will continue to bring you inspiring tales that uplift the spirit and encourage us all to face life's challenges with courage and positivity. Buddha bless you, and stay blessed.